All right, welcome back. Today I'm going to be putting on the other solar panel. It should work almost exactly like the first one. The only difference is I have to be careful about where I drill the screws in the front end. If they come through where I hope they come through, then they will avoid these little bars in the top of the van. If it doesn't come through where I want it to come through and it comes through at one of those bars, then I'll have to get a lot longer screws. So I'm really hoping I can avoid those bars and still have the space to put the solar panel up there. Beyond that, I'm just gonna put the same bolts and spacers in there, and I will also put do the same kind of wrenching with my little sister. And then last, I will go and seal it up with caulking, and I'll get some videos of that this time. Let's go. So I'm gonna measure out from the fan because I need to make sure that the distance from the screws past this bar is gonna be enough so that the screws come in beyond the bar and not through the bar. I'm just gonna measure that out on the bottom, and then I'll measure it out on the top, and then I might as well go ahead and plug up the solar panel wires because they're already set up from the other one. I just plop it right in and see if we're getting power. Might as well take advantage of the pretty day. Here we go. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to drill a little hole in here, and then we're going to check and hope that it comes through in a good spot underneath. Hopefully it's spot on and I won't have to do anything. Otherwise we're going to have to get long bolts for the front end here. Just be a little extra careful. All right, here we go. Whew, about fell. GoPro, stop recording. So I got one hole drilled and it looks okay. It's at a weird angle, but I believe that as long as I just use a little bit longer bolt, then it should work just fine. So now I just gotta drill all the other, what is that, 15 holes, and then drop screws in them to hold them in place, and I'll have to Rust-Oleum after that. But first, just drill all the holes and drop a little screw into the holes just to hold them in place. So same spill as before on the first solar panel. Once you make the holes, you need to cover them in primer sealer or Rust-Oleum or whatever you use to make sure that there's no rust or corrosion on where you've exposed that metal. I use the liquid because it's cheaper than the spray, but as long as you cover it for rust, it's not a huge deal what exactly you're doing. So I'm gonna go cover all the holes. Whew, all right, I got the painting all done. I let it dry for an hour, and now I'm putting in the hardware ready so that my sister can crank them while I hold them from underneath. Each one's gonna use, actually here she comes, coming to help. Each one's gonna need a washer on top, and one will need a spacer, one will need a spacer and two washers, one will need a washer, and then one needs nothing underneath it. So I'm going to slide those in, and then Cassie can help me lay it all, or crank it all down. Let's go. So we just finished tightening down all the bolts. Those are good to go. So it just needs some caulking. And I use the self-leveling lapse sealant. I'm just going to cover all the bolts and try to get around any points that might allow water into the van. Here we go. So I'm pretty much done. I checked all the caulking spots to make sure they look good, make sure there's nothing leaking. The only other thing to make sure of or to check is to put away the cords to tape them up underneath the panel. Beyond that, I think I'm good on solar. Just a few more things to do on the inside. I can start putting up my ceiling, so that's exciting. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, shoot links to your friends, ask me questions or put comments in there for anything that doesn't make sense or you think I could do more or less of. Any kind of feedback would be really helpful for me. So thanks.